no matter what happens, no matter how angry I could get, no matter if I were the guy that were able to push the button that put this person to death, it doesn't bring my brother back, no matter what. So having said that, I can't choose what happened there. I can't change what happened yesterday. All I can choose to do is help change tomorrow. And it starts with me.
Dave, excited to have you out here,
Well,
finally meeting at the COPS conference out here in Chicago. I want to start by finding out a little bit more about you and why you got involved in the organization.
Okay. I'm it's my 28th year as a law enforcement officer in Northern California. Hopefully within the next 2 months I'll be retired, so
Congratulations.
planning on walking out Christmas Eve. But COPS, I first became involved with back in 2009. I lost my platoon sergeant, Steve May. Sadly, he was involved in a vehicle collision on duty 7 years earlier in 2002, and tragically was in a coma for 7 years before he succumbed to his wounds and passed away in the summer of 2009. And in the spring of 2010, I went to Police Week. That was not the first Police Week I had been involved with or been to, but that was the first time I went to the COPS conference and got involved with some of the debriefing, counseling, and peer support groups there, and just felt comfortable. Felt hey, these people get me. And tragically, I can tell you that I've lost 8 good friends during my career, and COPS has been a huge assistance with overcoming grief and helping get through that period.
I have to imagine that with your friend being in a coma for 7 years, that was essentially a 7-year grieving process.
It was, especially, like I said, he was, to see his wife go through this, she was by his side daily, to see the family, you see the department evolve during this period. A lot of people came and gone, went, excuse me. It was quite a, traumatic experience in the end.
A lot of people will put on the news and they'll see that moment or the day after a horrific accident or a police officer shot, and they'll see the headlines and maybe some controversy around it because this is what the media does. But what they don't see are those moments after, and the suffering that the family goes through, and the suffering that the other officers go through. What do you want people to know about those moments after, about when the media coverage stops, about what's happening in that aftermath?
Well, partly, what I haven't told you to this point is, in 2016, I lost my brother. He was murdered on duty.
Oh my God.
So, having to be the mouthpiece for the family, having to be the one that, was thrown into the limelight as a result. I want people to understand that we're humans. We're just like them. We're people who our profession happens to be law enforcement. Now, personally, do I think that we are unique and that are we ordinary? In my opinion, no. I think the men and women I serve with are extraordinary. They deal with abnormal situations, and they choose to come back and deal with it again tomorrow. That's what makes them extraordinary. But beyond that, we're their friends, we're their neighbors, and we hurt just like anybody else. And the losses stick with you. The tragedies are just as deep as in anybody else's situation.
Let's talk more about what you hope comes out of this conference.
What I hope comes out of this conference is just more knowledge and more tools to help others with their grieving process, with helping them getting better, and just tools I can take back to my family, tools I can take back to my department, to fellow survivors, and help them understand the grief process, and just just to help make ourselves better.
You think forgiveness is part of that grief process?
Oh, it's definitely part of the grief process. Certainly. I can tell you on a personal experience, personal note, with the guy who killed my brother, no matter what happens, no matter how angry I could get, no matter if I were the guy that were able to push the button that put this person to death, it wouldn't bring Dennis back. It doesn't bring my brother back, no matter what. So having said that, I can't choose what happened there. I can't change what happened yesterday. All I can choose to do is help change tomorrow. And it starts with me. This man has already robbed me of my brother. I choose not to let him to rob me anymore of anything else. And in order for that to happen, forgiveness has to happen. That doesn't mean I don't want justice served.
Of course.
But I could forgive him for what he did.
That couldn't have been a feeling that came immediately.
No, it's not. It's not. Part of it is my transformation, being an older officer, and the last 28 years of what I've experienced. But my personal beliefs as a Christian, I believe that forgiveness is huge, and a huge component. But for my own personal well-being, I have to learn to let go.
No doubt. Brother, thank you for being willing to share your story.
Thank you.
Guys, organizations, especially cops, go a very, very long way in helping change lives and support those who are left after a tragic loss like this. I hope that you'll take the 2 seconds it takes you to hit that share button on this video and continue to serve groups like this. Thanks for watching. God bless America.